We have a Fisher and Paykel top loader washing machine Model WL80T65CW1 and it keeps going out of balance. Locating rubbers at the top and suspension rods seem okay. I did a diagnostic check and the following came up: warning, out of balance 25 cycles ago at progress Rinco 1 in fault status, none, however it is stopping all the time, so the 25 cycles ago doesn't make sense. Any advice on what to do? Thanks, Phillip.
Hi there, Phillip, and welcome to the site. Thank you for your inquiry. I will be assisting you with your question today. Here is the information you need to know in relation to this problem. Direct from the service manual. On the last 4 occasions I have come across this, they were all shock replacement jobs. Also, the people had been overloading the machine, which prematurely wore out the shocks long before they should have. Out of about 30 jobs I have done on these newer Fisher Paykel this year past gone, only 2 have needed a new rotor, RPS. You've already checked the straps. The bowl should be quite okay, so it's either the shocks or the RPS. I'd go with the shocks first, as you do not have the special tool to check the RPS with anyway. Only Fisher Paykel techs have this. There are no fault codes stored. This is a good sign also. If the RPS was faulty, the machine would have logged this anomaly: new shocks. http://spares.bigwarehouse.com.au/product_info.php. CPATH equals 64658_64721_64733 and products equals 1655910. Before you resort to forking out the $112 on them, tip the machine over and make sure all 4 shocks are seated correctly and that they are installed to the tub housing properly, etc. If you have any further questions, just ask. I am happy to answer them, even after rating. No problems at all. Thank you. Let me know how you go with this.
Do new straps come with the suspension kit? As they feel a bit loose, is there any way to firm up the suspension or improve it somehow without going to the expense of a new kit?
Hi Phillip, no, unfortunately they do not come with the kit. You would think they would though. Here is what they should look like. I've used wire to strap the lid ring/tub casing to the 4 corners before to shore up the existing straps, just to see if it made any difference, etc. The green wire that you use in the garden with attaching netting to tomato stakes, etc. It's an easy way to check if any difference is noticed. Also, the above company I linked you to don't supply the straps, so give these guys a call. You will also find they will have the shock kit cheaper than $112. They ship house-wide fast and cheap. Contact the experts. Please have your make and model number readily available when contacting us or visiting us. All brands, non-LG, phone 1-800-250-911, fax 088212 3195, AUSSIE Repair Tech. 41225.3214544213.
What about the suspension rods themselves? Can anything be done with them?
Hi Phillip, no, not really. It's the springs in the bottom that wear out. You can bounce the tub up and down and get a basic idea of just how bad they are, etc. And also check the tops of the rods to make sure they are not cracked, etc. The white plastic caps, sorry, I wish I had a better answer for you.
I have removed the suspension rods and checked all components and they all look fine. The machine has not been worked hard. I followed another thread on this site and someone had similar problems. The expert spoke about the possibility of the balance ring on top of the tub losing its water ballast. Does this make sense? How can it be checked and fixed? Thanks.
Hi Phillip, I doubt highly that it would be the ballast ring unless there is actual physical damage to the ring at the very top of the bowl. Some are sealed units and some have the water pumped through them via recirculation. If the ballast ring had failed, the machine would constantly go out of balance and not spin at all. Remember, the bump test is done electronically, via the RPS, so it is checking the alignment of the bowl and bowl height against the sensor. If you want to check and make sure, you need to raise the top of the machine, raise the lid ring, remove the agitator and then lift the bowl out of the outer tub and shake it. There will be ballast water in the ring, or there won't be. As previously stated, unless the top ring on the bowl is physically damaged, I doubt highly this will be the problem. Your rating is required. There are no extra charges involved and I rely on your honesty and satisfaction regarding feedback. Thank you.
Okay, I tried a medium spin with nothing in the bowl and it still went wildly out of balance with banging against the sides. I then stuffed foam down the inside of the cabinet on all four sides to firmly brace the bowl, and with nothing in the bowl, and it still went out of balance on a medium spin speed. I have pulled the bowl out and there seems to be water ballast in the upper and lower rings. We'll give it a clean and reassemble it and give it another go, but fast running out of ideas. Any further advice? Thanks.
Hi Phillip, probably the RPS then, if stablesing the bowl made no difference. Note, if the OOB problem persists after checking the above, we would then recommend replacing both the suspension rods and the rotor. It is highly unlikely that the motor control module will be the cause.
Thanks. What is the RPS? How much? Do I need a F&P service person for this? What is the rotor? How much? Regards, Phillip.
Hi Phillip, you're going to need a Fisher Paykel technician. Yes, they have the specialist tool to test both the rotor and the RPS. There is no other way, without substituting the existing parts with known working replacements and testing the machine otherwise. Both parts make up the motor in this machine. The rotor and stator magnetically interact with each other in order to convert electrical energy into rotational movement of the rotor. The rotor assembly is a complete unit, which is permanently fixed into the pump housing. The resulting cavity is charged with water, which acts as a lubricant. In the event of a failure of the rotor, the whole assembly must be replaced. Note, contained within the rotor cavity are seals and bearings that are non-field serviceable. The bearings provide a low friction wear surface for the rotor shaft to run on, and the seals eliminate grit from the rotor and bearing cavity. RPS senses position of rotor movement. Fisher Paykel 1300, 302, 382. I'm not sure about the prices, however, I don't expect it to be cheap. Give Fisher Paykel a call and ask for a quote over the phone first, before committing to having them come out, etc. Your rating would also be highly appreciated at this point in time. Thank you. AUSSIE Repair Tech. 41227.54447938666.
One last question which may help with the diagnosis. My wife says that the out of balance has been a gradual deterioration over the last few months, from an occasional out of balance, then rearranging of the clothes, etc. to now out of balance all the time. Does this change any of your previous advice? Thanks for your help.
Hi Phillip, the only other thing I can think of that would cause this problem was if the machine wasn't draining properly before it attempted to spin, causing imbalance, etc. Usually though, this would result in a drainage fault code, and this should be apparent long before the machine would continuously go out of balance, etc. Self-diagnostics. Another thing to keep in mind when you ring Fisher Paykel about getting someone to come out, the RPS and shock system could cost you in the range of $200 to $350. Fisher Paykel charge $110 just to turn up and $75 for every 15 minutes on the job. This doesn't include parts either. Make sure you get some rough ideas before committing to service at your house. A new Fisher Paykel is around $480 for 5.5 kg and $580 for a 7 kg. See here, http://www.appliancesonline.com.au/55 kg top load Fisher Paykel washing machine MW513/http://www.appliancesonline.com.au/7 kg top load Fisher Paykel washing machine WL80T65CW1 /add $100 and they give you a 5 years parts and labor warranty. Maybe if the cost is too high, it would be better to spend an extra $100 to $150 and start over brand new with 2 years warranty. Keep it in mind anyway. Against the cost of repair. If you have any further questions, just ask. I am happy to answer them, even after rating, and keep me posted also as to how you go. Thank you.
Is it worth a punt on just getting the suspension rods and straps for about $120 as no error messages were in the diagnostics? I doubt we will buy another F&P. What brands have the least service inquiry problems?
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/YTHI.